Hello and welcome to my channel. So, introducing myself, my name is Lucy and my industry is hair extensions. Now, I'm not wearing any today because I constantly fit them, and not just that, to maintain them, we all know it's a bit of a job, and I'd rather have none in than actually be as busy as I am and not have them look nice. So I leave that down to you guys and make your hair look beautiful, and then when I go out I just stick to clip-ins. So anyway, moving on. So today what I've done is my Facebook page, which is Leocie, Leocie, hair extensions. You can find my page on Facebook, and I've asked the public for any questions regarding hair extensions that they feel they need to know a little bit more about. And because I'm launching my own training academy very soon, Leocie Hair Extensions Training Academy, I'll put a link below. I thought I'd just ask, and in regards to sort of any questions that anyone has really, which I may not think about, but maybe playing on your mind. So I have the lucky list. So here we go. Number one, can you colour your hair whilst wearing hair extensions? So that question, whilst colouring your hair with hair extensions in, depending on what method you have, there may be, say for instance, you have the individual fusion glue bonds. By colouring the hair, what will happen is the hair will not actually go into where the glue bond is attached, which may result in 3 months later when you have your removal, that part of the hair won't be coloured, and then you'll have to have it done again, depending on when your maintenance is. I always recommend to my clients we'll work out a date together, have your hair coloured just before, and then usually around the 3 month mark you can have it coloured again. If you are blonde or you do have grey hair, what I always recommend to the clients is, as the hair extensions are fitted, this T-section area here is always left uncovered. Also the sides of the hair here, we class that as really baby hair, fine hair, and also the bottom. So hairdressers are able to do the outer surface of your face and the back and the T-section. I always just ask that obviously if bleach is being used, just to make sure that that bleach doesn't touch any bonds, because that can disintegrate the glue. And also if a customer or client has the eye-tips, which are the metal rings, I always say just be careful, because sometimes using too much product, the bleach or any residue can actually get into the rings, which might mean that the duration of those rings won't be as long because of slipping out and sliding. So the answer to that is yes, you can colour your hair with extensions in, but I would advise to have your colour before and after, or during your refit. But if you do want to go ahead and have it done, just focus on the T-section and the outer areas, and just ask your hairdresser to be extra careful and really use a brush to put the colour on, rather than any bottle yourself at home, because that's going to be too much product, and then that product may slide into where the hair extensions are, and they could slide out or disintegrate the glue. That's question one. Hope that helps. If there's any other comments you want to ask me about that, just pop them in the comment section below. Number two, can you colour blonde hair extensions? So my advice would be, number one, if they're 100% human hair, yes you can. So depending on who you're using to fit your hair extensions, what the supplier also states, but just be careful, because some suppliers state one thing and mean another. Not any suppliers that I use, they're very highly rated, and I've used the hair myself. But you can colour blonde hair, but again, it's a difference. So if you're colouring blonde hair with anything like silver shampoo, anything with a violet or purple tone, what can happen is if you place that onto the hair can actually suck up that colour and can leave the hair extensions blue, even if you're trying to just take it up a shade. I would be very careful, extremely careful. If that is something you're looking to do, I would advise to take one or two of the extensions out, or when you are applying any sort of silver tones or violet tones on blonde hair to maybe make it an ashier tone, I would just make sure that you're diluting that and not directly putting it onto the hair extensions themselves. Nonetheless, if you do want to dye the blonde hair extensions, it is always recommended, if you're going darker, for instance, to just have a brand new set of hair extensions, because obviously if you dye them, they can fade, and then they're back into your head for another 3 months if they were the glue bonds, and you know, you're constantly dealing with it. And as we just spoke about with colouring, then sometimes the colouring process can actually make the time span of your hair extension. So I would advise, if it's a drastic change in colour, I would just get a new set of hair extensions and just count your losses. Okay, aside from aftercare and masks, how else can hair extensions stay in good shape? Okay, aftercare obviously is a process that you need to follow, which the hair extensionist should tell you. My clients get an aftercare card of the do's and don'ts, or if they're professionals and they've had like 9-10 fittings with me, they know. Masks, yes, they're great. Masks, especially for hair extensions, are also great because they're actually made to support the hair extensions in a way, because the hair extensions don't grow from the root like our natural hair. So our natural hair have natural oils from our scalp, and obviously the hair extensions receive nothing. So masks and putting moisture into the hair extensions is down to yourself. I always say to my clients, if you're going to go out and you're going to curl your hair and you're going to style it, that's great, but you need to treat it like you would your natural hair, which means a mask, a conditioning treatment, and maybe a nice blow dry on a cool setting, or just let it dry naturally, which is always my top #1 fave to say. It depends on the circumstances. How else can they stay in good conditions? Well, for instance, your hair extension technician could be offering you checkups like I do, which is every 4 weeks, which is free. It is up to the client to get in touch with myself because I have so many clients. But basically what you can do then is you can have a trim. You can make sure that the ends are dry. You can get them trimmed, and then that will maintain the ends of the hair for you to stop any sort of... Okay, so that part might be a little bit weird because my son was just calling me. And this is my first ever video, so give me a break. Okay, so I think we were going over regular trims, making sure that there are masks, and the question was, how else can you keep them in good shape? So again, what I always say to the girls is, if you've got a trusted hairdresser, maybe regular blow dries, again, be very careful that the hairdresser giving you the blow dry isn't too strenuous with the bonds and things. I always say that because obviously you may be causing damage close to the bonds. I might put some things in the link of products that I use and recommend, so sulfate free products, okay, and I'll explain in another video why sulfate free products are the best to use, and the same with the correct hair brushes, same with the correct maintenance and aftercare. I'll do a video on aftercare as well. Okay, so another example is like running through your... No, actually I'll just do another video on that because we could just be there all day. So next question, how many times minimum or maximum should I wash my hair per week? So depends on your lifestyle. So I have clients who go to the gym every day. They shower twice a day because they're running or they're sweating. I have some clients who do actually fitness instructors, so they need to have their hair up a lot. I have some people who just wear their hair down, never wear it up, not a problem. So again, also I have clients who have naturally greasy hair. So I always say to my clients, once every 3 days. But again, I always say to the girls, if you just need to dry shampoo it in this area, then that's fine. But the feedback from my clients, I've been doing it like 6-7 years now, but the feedback is around once every 3 days that they wash their hair. Again, see what suits you, see what works, and then you can go from there. Any issues, obviously my clients come to me, but usually with the aftercare, the checkups and the products that I recommend, everything's fine. Okay, so sensitive scalp, will extensions work? Sensitive scalp, I would say no go immediately. Obviously there's different things in regards to, is it a little bit of psoriasis, is it eczema, is it products that you're using, are you on medication, is the shampoo medicated? Depending on what it is, again, consultations are hugely important. I'll do another video on consultations because that again is just major. Sensitive scalp, I would give it a miss. If you put hair extensions into a client with a sensitive scalp, if you knew that and there's issues, the issue is with you. Don't do it. ask the client to receive more treatment, maybe give your advice because you're not a GP, but tell them to go to a GP to get advice about their sensitive scalp, and just book another catch up in 4 weeks' time. It's better to be safe than sorry for yourself, and most importantly the client, because you're there to actually protect the client and look after the hair. You're not there just to make money and put anything in their head, because again, bad review, it comes back on you, you're out of business. It could be. Okay, can you reuse hair and change it to something else? Yes, you can. So for instance, I-tip hair. So this is the I-tip hair which you push into the ring and then you clamp down with a metal or copper ring. That hair I have converted from that method into a glue method before, and also from a glue method into that method. The main thing is really is the link with your supplier. Can your supplier do that? Is it affordable? What is the turnaround? And obviously the cost suits the client, and then obviously a fitting and everything on top. But yes, they can be turned around, but mainly it's your supplier. Can you rely on them? And also the ratio of hair. So if a client has the hair in for 3 months and it was 150 grams, and then you bring the hair back, you take the hair gets sent off, and then that hair is now 120 grams. Obviously you have to account for that other 30 grams that the client will then need. So you may have to order like a packet of 30 grams of the hair. I hope that makes sense. If not, just put in the comment box and I'll try and make sense. And I'll do one more question for today because there's 25 altogether and this is already 11 minutes long. So how long do hair extensions last? So hair extensions, again, depends on the client, the consultation, the client's lifestyle, and the method and the length. And yeah, they're the main important facts. So if a client, on average, my clients will last between 8 to 10 weeks for the tapes, stretching to 12. The I-tips around 11 to 13 weeks, and the glue bonds around 3 to 4 months. I mean, it's October in a couple of days and my client's had hers since February. I'm sure she's like majorly gone over the time, but apparently there's like no matting, everything's fine, she's happy. So yes, go client. Although I don't advise that all the time because that can actually cause damage on the hair, but I think she's like hiding from me because she loves them, so I'll have to chase her up again. But yeah, depending on the method and a few different things going into that. So tape, for instance, you can get growth into the hair, and what happens is where tape lie flat on the scalp, what happens is when you start to put your hair back, you can actually see that they kink out like this. So sometimes that can be more annoying than the actual client feeling they need them out. They just actually start noticing them. Same with the I-tips and the glue bonds. You can actually have a ponytail, and in the ponytail where they started off here, you can actually start to see them in this area then. So sometimes it's more for what people see rather than how they feel. So some people can come to me and there's actually, they can do this between the bonds, there's no matting, nothing, but they've had a bit of growth and they feel now that they're not as discreet as they were, so they want to change them. So that was my first video. I'm going to wrap this up now. I do excuse that I look a bit, you know, but I just thought, you know what, get the first video out there. There's a lot of questions. I think we got to about here. So I'm going to do another video and they're going to be on the channel under Q&A public questions. So this will be part 1. Again, I'm open to more questions, or if there's something or a product you recommend, tell me, let me look into it. I'll post reviews and things on there, and I will leave a link to my page below on Facebook, so you can just have a little look at who I am, what I know and what I'm doing, but also just subscribe if you want to find out any other information. A few of the questions, I'm not going to go into them now, but just to let you know what will be in the next video, will be how long usually from consultation to a fitting? Can you still do hair up and in braids with extensions in? Exercising, they don't want to overwash the hair, so what should they do? Wearing the hair up, will it cause damage? Can they use dry shampoo? I have thin hair, will extensions damage it? Are extensions suitable for fine hair? What are the least damaging hair extensions on the market? Lots to say on that one. The difference in hair methods is definitely another video. What is double drawn hair? how do you know what works best? So how do I know?